Let me be your ADC. Yes. My colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, you are furthermore cordially welcome to this briefing with respect to our 2023 audited financial statements. It's actually a reflection of our TAPE agenda. We had made commitment right from 2019 when we stepped in under the leadership of Mr. Mele Kyari to ensure transparency, accountability, and performance excellence. And to that extent, we had also enrolled ourselves into NIATI and EITI to ensure that we do not hide anything for anyone, not to talk of Nigerians who own this company. So today, we are going to share with your good selves the summary highlights of the 2023 results that this company has been able to achieve. It is a reflection of the sheer hard work and commitment of our board, management, and staff of NNPC, who have toiled day and night to ensure that this company remains sustainably on a growth path trajectory and that the profit is growing from year to year. At the end of the briefing, we will make this public through our website so that all Nigerians can have access to it. But first of all, when you look at the performance of this company from 2019 to date, we have never looked backwards. It's always forward. The company, when we took over, was a loss-making corporation. And PIA came into being, and it became a Kama company. We broke even at the end of 2019, and by 2020, we had produced the first profit ever for this company, which is 287 billion naira. The following year, in 2021, the company's profit grew to 674 billion naira. By the third year, in 2022, the profit jumped to 2.5 trillion naira. Of course, in that year, we also had the JV assets transferred from the corporation to us as part of our take-up assets. Now, in 2023, the profit has also grown by 28%, from 3.5 trillion to 3.297 trillion naira. Similarly, on the asset side, next slide. On the asset side, in 2019, we were literally holding an asset base of 8 trillion naira, which slightly moved to 9.5 trillion in 2020, but by 2021, following the movement of the JV assets to the company, the assets, non-current assets, grew to 15.3 trillion naira. And by 2022, that's the resulting from investments, but then the transfer of the assets in 2022 saw us grow from 15.3 trillion to 37 trillion naira of assets. And that has doubled in 2023, resulting from investments and translation difference. We are expected to produce our financial statements in dollars and translate it into naira, and that's what has happened in 2023. So when you look at the key summary highlights on the next slide, No, on the next slide also, it shows, yes, come back to, no, go back to highlights. Yes. 2023 highlights. We had a 23.9 trillion naira revenue or turnover, which resulted in a gross profit of 7 trillion, net operating profit of 4.3 trillion, and profit before tax of 5.9. Consequently, we ended the year with 3.297 trillion naira as profit after tax. On the asset side, because of a sizable amount of receivables, the total assets position stood at 246 trillion naira. Of course, the sum, when we look at the second other side of the balance sheet, total liabilities equate to the same. In terms of cash and bank holding, at the end of the year, we had 7.7 trillion naira in the banks. And interim dividend paid during the year was 536 billion naira. So these were amounts that we used to pay every month into the Federation account. Final dividend was declared last Friday by the shareholders, amounting to 2.1 trillion naira net of tax, withholding tax. And net profit margin for the group is at 14%, while the operating profit margin stood at 18%. Now, how does this look in real sense when we say earnings per share? Remember, we have 200 billion shares. And so when it comes to earnings per share, 16.49 naira per share. And in terms of dividend per share, it stands at 11 naira point 11 kobo. Of course, you know the dividend payout for the company is already enshrined in the law, in the PIA. It's 80% payout. It's a matter of compliance. And the return on equity is at 12%. And current ratio, which shows our ability to settle our current liabilities, is at 1:1. So it means we have sufficient near liquid assets to settle our current liabilities, 100%. In terms of debt to assets, it's literally 1.8%. So long-term survival of the company is assured. It's unlike in the past, when as a corporation, we had to get a going concern sustainability letter from the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources. It's no longer the case. Next slide shows you, come back, sorry, to government take. So in totality in 2023, we will say that the government, all types of government, the government take from this company of yours stood at 8.6 trillion naira. 537 billion naira has been paid as interim dividend. Is now 2.1 trillion naira dividend finally declared for payment. We also have royalties paid from our own operations of 2.15 trillion naira. We also have taxes, levies, and statutory deductions amounting to 2.6 trillion naira. And also assets under management by way of PSC and 40% profit on PSCs, as well as royalty on PSC production. Those PSC assets still belong to the Federation. They don't belong to NNPC. But we are obligated to pay 40% of the PSC profit into Federation account, and similarly all associated royalties, and also pay 30% into the Frontier Exploration Fund account of 30%, where we retain 30% under management. So it is really untrue for anyone to say NNPC has not been remitting anything into the Federation account. This is 2023 performance. But you know, sometimes our principals, they know what we are doing. Our shareholders know what we are doing. It's not every issue that is out there in the social media that we have to respond to. Next slide. To clarify and to get it, make it very clear. We have seen also information out there that the company is over leveraged. That is far, far from true. The borrowings we have made so far by this company as outstanding at the end of 2023 are about 5 in number, 2 of which have also been fully repaid this year. We took $1 billion from Afrexim Bank to rehabilitate Port Harcourt Refinery. That is still ongoing and drawdowns are happening. And that goes exclusively to payment of invoices to the contractor Technimont under an escrow scheme arrangement. Secondly, we borrowed $1 billion just to ensure that the Dangote Refinery also continues its production, its construction activity unhindered, with the desire to take 20% equity. But subsequently, both of us, NNPC and Dangote, agreed to scale down and take the equity stake that is equivalent to our $1 billion. So that $1 billion was paid directly to Dangote Industries Limited. It didn't even come to NNPC coffers. And that debt has also been fully repaid as of June this year. Gazelle, which is the subject of so much discussion in the media, was at the instance of the Federation. And this had NEC approval. We borrowed 3.3 billion, and that money was credited directly to the CBN's account with Afrexim Bank. It's Federation money, is not for NNPC. We will use Federation borrowers to settle that debt, and that repayment has commenced. Eagle 2 is really for our upstream company, NAPL, based in Benin, a $950 million, which was targeted to, for them to invest and increase production. So that one is also under repayment at the moment. Final one was Brooks, which was a $300 million facility. We borrowed and we acquired OML 86, 88, 45% equity in those assets. And so those two assets are owned 100% today by NNPC. And that loan has also been fully repaid. So when we hear that the company has pledged all the barrels, that is far from truth. Today, the company is producing an average of 1.7 million barrels per day, of which about 1 million barrels belong to NNPC and Federation. And from that, when we take out the barrels being pledged here and the barrels that are used for cash call, we do have enough barrels to satisfy domestic refineries as long as they can produce PMS for Nigerians to consume. So we do not have to import. Next slide. I will stop here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will entertain some questions, and then we will also make the accounts available in the website. Thank you very much.
To apologize to Nigerians for the queues we see springing up now and then. The number of the courses are such that we do our best to manage. Outside of our control, but we do our best to manage. It's not, we do do not like to make excuses, but you would imagine, for example, we've had, since the rains began, the Escravos Channel has been difficult to navigate through. We have vessel after vessel going aground there because of siltation, and that has really hindered our ability to bring petroleum products, particularly PMS, upcountry. You'd also understand that with the rains also come situations where ability to discharge petroleum products is challenged. When you have lightning and thunderstorms, you have to suspend not just the discharge of petroleum products onshore, but also the evacuation from the tank farms. We've had situations such as that occur in recent times. We've also had issues with the road network, and that's also gives challenges in bringing those products upcountry. The tightness you see in Lagos currently was due to a very short supply gap, which we have since addressed. Vessels are in Lagos now, offloading as I speak, discharging as I speak. So that is definitely short-lived. But a number of these factors sometimes combine to create a nightmarish situation for us. But I can assure you that we're doing everything, we're not leaving any stone unturned in making sure that we get petroleum products to all nooks and crannies of the country. Thank you.
Thank